Hi everybody. Today we are group number 1 and we are going to present about the case study Google. These are my group members: Neil, Ishan, Vatsal, Nitish, and myself, Uday. Coming back to the topics that we are going to cover here. First, it will be overview about the Google core values within the organization, and the next thing, what exactly is Google trying to do in the mobile, like it is going to take as a competition against the mobile giants Apple, and the main focus would be on the mobile advertising. This is where the most of the revenue of Google come from. 97% of the revenue comes from mobile advertising. Then going ahead about Google, first let's take a history about Google. This was developed by two of the Stanford University students, and their names are Larry Page and Sergey Brin. Their main motto was they wanted to create a platform wherein whole of the information is available at one place, and this is where Google exactly originated. And now we know what exactly is Google. Any search engine you want, the first thing that comes to your mind is Google. Then going with the next page about Google, the one, as I told you, it focuses mainly on the user, that is user oriented, because everybody wants all the information. So with this we can say that it is more based on the user. Then the next thing, as I already told you, it is a search engine, and their main aim was all the information should be available for them at one place. So we can say it is universally accessible and useful. And one of the important core value that Google follows is ethics. Google has very world-class clients, and their clients do give them a lot of data. So Google follows a strong ethics wherein it tells its it tells its employees that don't be evil with the customer data. So they maintain a lot of confidentiality in the data that they are handling, because the companies give them a lot of data. So this is one of the ethics which Google follows on a very serious note. And going back to the next slide, this is one of the feature of Google. It says do one thing really well. This thing I can explain you with one of the example. If you type Tesla in the Google search bar, you can see a lot of data about the specific cars that is Tesla, and it also demarcates itself with the videos, the prices, the showroom locations, and all the things regarding Tesla. So after you get the all information, imagine you just need to view few videos of Tesla, and when you just click on that, it directly routes you to the videos page. And say if you want to check out the prices, and you just click on the tab of prices, it directly routes you to the prices page. So this is one of the really good feature of Google, where you can see that the one thing that you click, that is the information that it pops out. And the remaining slides will be explained by my remaining group members. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Vatsal, and I am doing the next part of the slide. Starting with faster is better. Google has always believed in faster is better than slower policy. They know that time is valuable, and thus they keep speed in mind whenever they produce new services or new products. And they want their people to provide them with satisfied results whenever they seek or search for answer on the web. Google will be the only company in the world who wants the people to leave their website as quickly as possible, because they know the importance of time, and they always want to make their services as fast as possible. Moving on to next slide, Democracy Works. So Democracy Works is a non-profit organization that works to make voting experience simple and seamless for the Americans. They are a team of software developers and public policy wonks who works to make voting experience accessible to almost all the people in America. And they also use Google as a platform to project their information on website or on any platform through Google, because Google is the most efficient way to keep updated people with the information. and to make people accessible from many sources like mobiles, laptops, etc. And moving on to next slide. Accessibility. Google has made accessible their products to everyone in the world. A single Google account can give you access to many services such as YouTube, Gmail, Google Drive, etc. Through Google Drive you can store as many pictures and videos that you want, and it also eliminates the use of pen drives and other data transferring devices. You can get as many space as you want on your cloud computing without paying any extra cost. So accessibility is the area where Google has worked a lot, so because their motto was to get to as many people as possible, so that information can be flourished worldwide, and people can get access to informations whenever they want to do. Now moving on to next slide. So you can make money honestly. Google has always been a corporate brand and were known as the good guys of the corporate world. They have found many ways to make money honestly. They also have a program called AdSense, where advertisers can advertise their products or services, where per click the publisher gets 68% of revenue and Google gets 32% of revenue. So Google thinks that it was the most honest way to earn money, and developing such kind of program can give you access to make money from home, and it can be easy for most of the people, because as many people work during daytimes, they can work at night with this program and can earn money without paying extra cost or anything. And thus my part ends over here, and I'm forwarding to my next mate.
Thank you. So there's always more information in the Google. Whether you search about a local newspaper or about some international things or issues, it will tell you about every single thing which is related to it. Google works like a tree. If you search for a seed, it will show you the whole tree, whichever thing is related to it. And all of these things are going on internationally. For example, if you search about the nuclear thing in India, it will show you the results within the nuclear thing in America, Russia, and different parts of the world, which correlates very beautifully. You can be serious without a suit. Yes, you can. So, Google always wants their employees to work in the comfortable situation. For example, its head office in California has a tennis court, volleyball court, 55 different parks which have different gymnasiums, different theme parks including a dinosaur theme park, Android theme park, and even a kindergarten for their children to play. So what Google always wants is to make its employees stress-free. Because of that, its employees will work more efficiently and more beautifully. That's why every single company today is trying to follow the work culture of Google, because the efficiency of the employees of Google is always much higher than the other employees. Great just isn't good enough. Great is never good enough for the Google, because Google is always targeting for the perfection. In this work culture where they are working stress-free, they put their 200% efficiency to make the things even better. For example, they recently invented an optical thing which looks like a glass, and in that thing it works on your voice input and movement of your eyes. So now if I'm seeing this chair, I can just blink my eyes and look up for it, where was it made, who is it manufactured, or where from it's imported from. So Google is always setting the benchmark for the new future, for the new things which no one can even imagine of. Making it a recognizable brand. For this, Google is a very, very, very famous brand. I think it's the only brand which is used even by the illiterate people who never used internet in their life. For example, a mother in the household asks her kid, please Google the recipe of this thing so I can make it for you. An old person asks his son, okay, please see the reviews of this restaurant on the Googles so I can have a dinner on it. Google now has become a synonym for the search word. So wherever person wants to say search, he instead say, just Google it, bro. That's how it's famous, how famous it is. So, and how it becomes so recognizable because of its effortless work of connecting with the people. It, in every advertisement, in everything, it tries to connect with the people like it's on. Thank you very much for today.
Hello friends, I would like to tell you about what is Google's next innovation for the market. So Google is moving on with multiple fronts, multiple innovation in this competitive world. So it's coming on with new Android updates, new smartphones. It has come up with self-driving cars, Google bots, Google robots. Basically, it's based on artificial intelligence. Google Glass and many more like internet balloons, Google Street View, Google Maps. So as the market is highly competitive, it has to continuously innovate, create new products, new services to maintain its niche. And as you know, Google is a brand for its niche. So it has a lot of next generation technology enabled gadgets, devices and integration of smart features. Okay friends, I'd like to tell you about Google Pixel's feature. So it is the first smartphone developed by Google based on the Android platform. It has various features, but I'd like to tell you about its niche features. So first, it has the Pixel launcher, which any of the phone you have, iPhone launcher, you have Samsung launcher. So this is most user friendly and most easily available and easily accessible on the Google Pixel. So and the best thing about it is it is exclusively available only for Pixel. No other Android phone, even if they're working on the same platform, will have Google Pixel launcher in it. Next, I would like to tell you about Google Assistant. It's basically about the assistant that you know about Siri or Romana on Microsoft, Siri on iPhone. Google has launched its own assistant, which is more helpful and the next step ahead in phone assistants. Unlimited Google photo storage is a next step ahead, and it has broken the barrier of storage limitations. For example, you have Google photo storage on all Android phones, but it is limited, and for extra storage you have to pay extra money, and the photos stored are of less resolution. But Google Pixel has a feature in which all the photos taken by Google Pixel, all the videos taken by Google Pixel can be stored unlimited with full resolution on Google Photos. So this is a new barrier they have broken into. I would like to tell you about the next feature, that is new setup and Apple transfer. For example, I have a phone, but I want to shift to a new phone, but I wouldn't because the things that support on my Apple iPhone or my Microsoft phone won't go with other phones. So even if I want to shift to a better product, I wouldn't be able to do it. But Google has broken this barrier as well. So you can do new setup and Apple transfer very easily on Google Pixel. So they have broken the customer segment of Apple. If iPhone users want to shift to Google Pixel, they can easily shift without having to think about like their features won't work on that or their data will run on Google phone or not. So this is a very nice feature by Google Pixel. The next feature is 24/7 customer support. So they're coming into the smartphone market for the first time, and all of the previous players have their customer support, customer service already set up. So they have a live chat and 24/7 customer support option with Google. So whatever problem it is, you can go to them 24/7. The next product I would like to tell you about is the self-driving car from Google. So it's called Waymo. They have used artificial intelligence in automotive, which enables the cars to self-drive. So you have seen Tesla or other cars driving. Google has also pitched in that market, and they are developing artificial intelligence to make cars drive by themselves. So the CEO of Google has told that this will be a new benchmark in ride sharing, transportation, personal transportation, or even commercial transportation, in which human hours are included. So self-driving cars, self-driving vehicles will enable people to work peacefully or drive peacefully without any sleep deprivation or fatigue. So the Google robots, and they have developed a new robot called Google Handle, which has wheels instead of feet. So where feet don't work, wheels can work. And wheel, being the first invention in mankind, has been useful till now. So Google has used the basic values by itself, that it goes by simple things. So that's what they have done in a next level technology, introducing basic features. I would like to thank you for you guys for listening to me, and I would like to handle this presentation to my next group member. Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Neil, and I would like to introduce some of the Google products, and the first one is the Google Glass. So what they have done is, the most good innovative thing is that they have made it look like a normal spectacle which you can wear in the normal life. So, and it's just like a mini computer where you have the GPS in it, you have the speakers, the microphones, and even you can have the GPS in that. So wherever you want to go, you can have a address or have a look on where you're going. That's really amazing for that. And the main thing is it's battery operated, so there is no hassle of the wires, and it's just similar to the popular Samsung VR goggles. It's right now publicly available to the public, and the people are loving it. So now moving on to the next innovation, that is the internet balloons. Right now this is under research and development phase. So it mainly focuses on providing internets to the people in the remote locations where the possibility of erecting the infrastructure is very complex. So the main aim behind this is Google are focusing on floating the balloons in the stratosphere, which will work on the wind velocity, which the data will be obtained from the weather department, and if this goes a success, then it would prove a great thing for the people, and connecting more and more people to the internet, which is the aim of the whole world right now, so that they can have the basic facilities and they can have a look at what internet is, what the world is through this. So moving on to the next innovation is the Google Street View. So it's right now popular among the people, and they are using it just like anything. It's a great tool, and of more importance, you can know the location even before visiting that place. And it's mainly useful when you are going to a remote place and you have never been over there, and you can know the surroundings before you visit them, so you are safe. And also in the image right now, you can see the Flinders Street Station, which is being used with the Google Street View. So it basically it enables you to know your surroundings well and go and have a look how it's like. Moving on to the next thing is the cloud computing. The latest innovation by Google, where the developers are integrating it into their system. And this, because of the continuous innovations by Google and the developers, the search engine is becoming more and more popular, and you can have a look at the statistics right now. And the Google has the biggest piece of the pie, and also it's because of the operating system. It's getting head to head with the with the Apple iPhone. And talking about the microphones, the Microsoft browser. Google recently launched that ad for the Google Chrome, the browser made by Google, and they are advertising it more and more to have it a success. And taking on the Apple iPhone, The Google Android is very much popular, mostly because of the open and free base, which enables the users to customize it in their own way. So they are taking it head to head with the Microsoft and Apple, but the future will be known by the statistics, which shows that right now Apple is much more ahead of the Google in terms of the phone softwares, but it's steadily going up and up with the coming introductions such as Google Pixel. It's such innovation, and it's much helpful for a Google company, and the future is just going to be bright for a Google company as more and more innovations come in. And I would like to thank you for watching this presentation.